Hi, are we good? How are we? How are we doing today?
Welcome to Fight for Life Radio.
Hi.
Enjoy the show.
Am I not on? Oh no.
The plug.
Am I on now? Oh no. What shall we do? Am I on now?
About to find out.
Am I on now? Okay, great.
Mic check, mic check.
Live radio. Welcome to Fight for Life Radio with your pro-life DJs, Deb and Jess. This is Kelly, and I'm filling in today for Deb while she's getting things ready for our upcoming banquet this Friday. I'd like to give a special shout out to A Time to Dance dance studio and to Faith Life Family Church, who are faithful and loyal supporters of First Choice Pregnancy Services. We are so grateful for God using you and for your faithfulness in giving to God's ministry. For our weekly update from October 28th through November 3rd, 2021, our supporters and loyal donators helped to provide and facilitate 72 free pregnancy tests and 55 free ultrasounds to the women of Las Vegas. Thank you for helping to minister to the women in our community and for standing ground on the front lines of the battle in the war on life.
Proverbs 31, 8 through 9 says, "Open your mouth for the mute, for the rights of all who are destitute. Open your mouth, judge righteously, defend the rights of the poor and needy." The babies that are being driven past First Choice have no voice at all, if not it be from their own parents. And they don't know it, but they rely on us daily to speak up for them and plead for their lives. But God tells us to speak up on their behalf, and that really is the heart of this ministry, to speak up for the poor and needy and to speak up for those who don't have a voice.
If this is your first time listening into our show and you want to join the Fight for Life, or if your church wants a visit from First Choice, please call us at 702-294-2273 or go to firstchoicefriendslv.org to find out more on how to donate today. If you missed last week's show and you would like to hear it, go to our Facebook page at FCPS Friends, where you can view the recording. We're live on Facebook right now, so hop on there to catch today's show.
Thank you, Kelly. This is Jess, and I thought I would give a special story today that's near and dear to my heart because it's my own.
Yay, we want to hear it. Those are the most impactful.
Yes, and I just thought it would be so important to really discuss about why we need pregnancy centers like First Choice and how important they are to the community. So I'm personally so grateful for organizations like First Choice and that they exist. I think back to the time when I was 17 years old. I was pregnant and terrified of what that meant. I planned to graduate from high school, join the Marines, and become a police officer and really just follow in my dad's footsteps. I had plans. I had plans for my life, right? And as a product of sexual abuse, I began seeking out attention from boys. How often do we hear about that with women that come into the center?
We do. We hear that story.
Well, that led to me getting a boyfriend at a very young age. And I remember hearing from a family member, "You're going to be one of those girls that gets pregnant at 17, aren't you?" And I thought, what? No, I'm not going to do that. And I really had no guidance, no relationship with God, and I had a pretty rough upbringing. That being said, I ended up falling in love pretty hard, and all my career plans went out the window. All of that changed. I gave up my conviction of not having sex before marriage. I succumbed to my fleshly desires, and I got knocked up. My mind immediately went into a whirlwind. what was I supposed to do?
Right.
Who should I tell? My due date was my high school graduation date.
Oh.
And which was June 17th. I still remember that day.
Oh my goodness.
It also happens to be my sister's birthday, so it was ingrained into my head.
And you were in a place where you probably know where to turn, no advice.
I was mortified. I had been raised with my mom, but at that time I had moved in with my dad, and I just did not, I had no idea what to do. Where I was somewhat excited, but somewhat just terrified. I really didn't know what to do. So I had to actually build up the courage twice to tell my parents, because I had a divorced family. My parents were divorced, so I had to muster up the courage to tell my dad. Then I had to muster it up again to tell my mom, and I was kind of thought I had it easy, because after I told my dad, he had a really good reaction. It was not nearly the reaction I was expecting by any means. And then when I had to build up the courage to tell my mom, it was a totally different experience. She told me at that time, you have options. She said, you have the option to adopt your baby out.
Oh, that's incredible that she spoke that wisdom to you.
Wait until you hear the rest.
Oh, no.
She said, you can keep your baby, but if you do, we'll disown you as a family.
I didn't see that one coming. I should have, because we hear this story at the center a lot.
We do. We do. We see all walks of life. But then the third option, obviously, is abortion. And so she really kind of spoke into that, and I felt the pressure of the abortion. I had people all around me that were influencing me. I grew up in California, where it was a very liberal state. And I had one friend in particular that used abortion as her form of birth control. So really, that was the influence that I had all around me. And so when
and that's still happening. We see that at the center.
Oh yes,
multiple abortions, and they just don't know how to get out of that cycle.
It's a way of life now. It's not coming from a generation of, whether or not it's pro-choice or pro-life. It's really just become a way of life, and this generation, it's very unfortunate.
They pick the easiest way out, and that society has made that the easiest way out.
And not having to take care of your responsibilities, but I was not raised that way. I was raised to take care of my responsibilities. Long story short, I took that information that came from my mom, someone that was very influential in my life, and I don't know, she may have even had the same conversation with my sister, who was also pregnant at a very young age, 8 years in advance of me. Oh, sorry, I forgot to shut off my phone. Anyhow.
Live radio.
Yeah, it's live radio, that's right. Well, my boyfriend at the time, who ended up becoming my first husband, he says, no, we're keeping this baby. And because we took that answer and we gave it to my mom says, well, I'm sorry, we're going to have to disown you, basically. And she did.
Oh, that's so disheartening.
She did.
Christians doing that to.
Well, she ended up coming back around. We had the baby, and my daughter, who you know now, is Michaela.
Wonderful, beautiful Michaela.
Everybody loves Michaela.
And you did something so courageous. You shared this story with your daughter, so she knows. And it's important that she doesn't repeat these.
Yes, exactly. Mistakes. She ended up. She moved on. She ended up going to a private academy out here in Las Vegas, as well as my other children. I have 3 more children. Liberty Baptist Academy, and she ended up graduating valedictorian from Liberty Baptist Academy. It was a very proud, beaming moment for me, but. That day, who was sitting next to me in that auditorium, in the audience, as my daughter graduated? It was my mom.
Aww.
And when she graduated, she got to deliver this beautiful, Christ-filled speech to a packed auditorium. And when she was done, she had touched so many people's lives. They all stood up for the first time. I was told it was for the first time ever.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone gave her a standing ovation. That was the first time it had ever happened in the history of the school, that she had been applauded so much. She moved on. She started her own family, and when she became pregnant with her first child, I was there in the ultrasound room with her, and I was there when the technician told her, I'm sorry, but there's something wrong with your baby. There's something wrong with the development of your baby. And so she had to move on to go to a specialist. And that's when we found out that there was something wrong with this pregnancy. And so they used that complication as a reason to tell her, well, you really need to consider abortion as well.
That up as
but
well.
because I did share that story with my daughter Michaela, and I was completely transparent with her, she said, no, I'm choosing life for my baby. And
courageous.
So, like I tell the women that come in, I say, I did not know that when I chose life for my baby, that I was also choosing life for my grandchildren.
It's amazing how it can be generational if we just share the truth. And this is why centers like us are so incredibly important, because we get this all the time. The mothers are scared. They don't know what to do. The fathers, the boys, the girls, they're scared. They don't know what to do. We speak into that void, and we speak truth into that moment when they so easily could let society tell them, guide them. And that is just marvelous. And I know Michaela, and she's just an incredible, stellar person.
And
but
now
it does take courage.
At First Choice with us. It's really come full circle.
She does.
I really wish I had a pregnancy center like First Choice to go to, and I wish that we were aware. I wish that we were aware of the pregnancy centers out there that are there to help, and not just to sell an abortion and get your money from you.
I get calls all day long on the phones. The first question, they just assume, hey, how much is an abortion? And when you tell them there's another choice and there's another path, and we want you to come in and our services are free, we want you to understand that you don't have to make this decision today. Wait and see what's going on with this pregnancy. Let us tell you about our resources, counseling, guidance, sharing the stories of women who have walked this walk and have made these choices. I shared my story before as well. I did not end up in a center like ours. And after the fact, finding out that there were choices that I didn't know about was humiliating, scary, frustrating, and made me feel like a sinner and like I had committed a crime, and I buried it. And then the emotional stuff.
You carry that shame with you now.
Absolutely. And we tell women this: you do not have to carry this shame. And this is why it's so important for the donors and the people out there listening today to support us. Our banquet is this Friday night, and our services are free, and this is how we do it. And I took the opportunity to buy a table, invite my friends.
Amen.
And some of them, I don't know if they're Christians, I don't know how they feel about this issue, but it's an excellent opportunity to hear people, professional people, speak on this topic, and let them decide for themselves. And all the people I invited said yes.
Amen.
I was like, yay, they're coming.
Amen.
But it's so important. I want to get the details in if I can really quick here. The banquet details are, it's the 17th annual banquet, Champions for Life, this Friday, November 12th. Silent auction starts at 5:30. It's at the Westgate Resort.
And the VIP meet and greet.
The VIP meet and greet, absolutely. The keynote speaker is pro-life advocate and public speaker Abby Johnson. And she was in that movie Unplanned, and it was just incredible. I just can't plug that enough. I can't wait to ask her questions about that. We've also got public speaker and pro-life advocate Seth Gruber, and he'll be delivering the closing remarks. We're going to have a special visit from Mrs. Nevada International 2022, Ashley Tesoro, and musical entertainment by Emily Allen. It's going to be just an incredibly beautiful night. You can go to our website and buy tickets. You can show up that night, really, and you can buy a ticket at the door. And we will gladly, graciously have you there. But it's just an incredible opportunity to bring your friends and to bring anyone in your church or your family and have the opportunity to discuss and hear about the topic of abortion, because we don't get a lot of moments that we can talk about it. So we want you to join the fight for life with us.
Yes. So thank you for joining us today. Tune in next week at 3:16 on Tuesday.
We squeaked that one in, didn't we, today?
There's so much more that could have been said.
We were running out of time.
I know.
It's a lot of time. I mean, it's not a lot of time. It's not a lot of time.
Amen.
So I don't know. I think we were okay,
pretty spot on. Pretty spot on. We got the plug. One more time, our final push.
Yeah, that goes quick.
Thanks for joining us today.
Here?
You're supposed to wait till your music's done.
Oh, sorry.
It's
still on. It's still on.
Oh. Hi.
Live radio, people. Live radio.
Oh, okay.
We'll wait until the commercial's
I'm
over.
just a peon.
Well, at least I had a live mic
I
in the nick of time.
was like, are we going to do
I'm
mic
like,
check?
what? I'm touching this. Yeah, right?
Join us next week. Bye, everybody.